Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. And yet we have what I think is an absolutely beautiful model from Longines. This is their brand new Conquest Heritage Central Power Reserve, and it's actually a reissue of a watch back from the late 50s. I think it was 59 when this watch was first introduced, and to be fair, they've kept it quite faithful to that, and it just looks, I think, really classy. It has that real retro kind of look to it. Now, obviously the main thing about this is this power reserve. We take that for granted on many watches these days, and some watches do it well when quite often it's featured on the back. Now, normally I prefer a power reserve when it's out of the way. I find that some companies, especially Grand Seiko, can ruin their dial by carving some of it away to have a power reserve. But this is one of the few dials I've seen where it's on the front and it works a treat. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let me say a big thank you to Ryan and the team over at Francis and Gay of Coventry for allowing me to review this watch. Honestly, guys, if you're in the Coventry area, well worth popping into the store just to see what they've got. If you're a bit further afield, well, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can see what they have. So anyway, let's talk sizes. We've got a 38mm case size by only 12.5mm tall. The lug-to-lug size is 45mm and the strap size on this is 19mm. But it's that dial, isn't it? Let's have a look at that dial. The dial is beautiful on this. Now, I must say, it is available in 3 colours in total. Obviously, we have this one, I think, is a grey and a black model. This, I would say, is the standout model. It just looks incredibly cool. To my personal preference anyway, I think this kind of cream champagne kind of dial look looks fantastic. And I love the fact that when you're out and about and you get the reflection on the hands and these applied hour markers, it really makes it pop. I like that you've got this kind of tapering off dial, so reminiscent of the old vintage watches of the day. And I think it's better than many of the new ones, only because it's slightly harder to make, and I don't think that's why you get it these days. You have these applied hour markers going round, and then we have a printed minute track. Then we have these nice little grooves going on here, which just break it up that little bit, and then coming into these 2 rotating discs in the center there. And what's really nice about it, you also have a central 12 o'clock position for the date window, again framed, giving it a more kind of premium feel, we should say. The hands, as I've stated, are absolutely gorgeous. They really are like this syringe style, how it goes right out to the minute track. Really, enables you to set the time incredibly accurately, I find. Now, there is loom on the hands. Now, you may think there's no loom on the dial, but there is at the 1236 positions here. You can see the loom just there and there, and a little bit there and on top. Now, it's not the longest of lasting looms because obviously there's not a lot of it, but there is enough to get you by. After all, this is more kind of airing towards the side of a dress watch versus a more kind of tool watch, dare I say. So what we've got, obviously Longines up there, and automatic, the automatic and Conquest there. Strange why they have sort of 3 different types of script on the dial. You've got this capital, going on there, nice script, and automatic in a completely different font, I should say. Not quite sure why they went with that, but I would have almost thought you'd have been better to get rid of the Longines up there and get rid of automatic and just have Longines down there with Conquest there. I don't know, I'm being picky, but that's what I do. Now, obviously the big thing here, we have a power reserve. Now, there's no screw down crown on this. If I rotate it, you can see it actually starts to rotate round. Now, because this is on full power at the moment, it's all rotating, but these are 2 separate discs, and once you get the power is below the kind of 3/4 mark, this will spin on its own, and this other one will stay there. So it's a bit strange how they do it, but it is kind of quite interesting as well. Now, the crystal on this is a lovely kind of boxed sapphire crystal with AR coating, and to be fair, the AR coating does seem to be really quite good in this model. Now, overall, superb. I like the way it kind of it comes down into the polished bezel there. Because this watch has got a polished bezel, it sort of like appears a bit bigger than what it actually is, I find anyway. So as we come past that, we've got this vertical brushwork there. To be fair, that's the only thing I'm a little bit I'm not quite sure why we've done that. I'd have thought the horizontal brushwork would have been better. You do have these polished sides, and the way the lugs taper down, I think, are quite nice on this one. Overall, the case, it feels so soft and tactile. It's got a real nice feel to it. As I say, the crown hasn't got crown guards. It's not screwed down, but you do get 50 meters of water resistance to it. Now, 50 meters basically means don't worry about getting your hands wet. You could wash the car, you can wash your hands, you can possibly get it wet in the shower. It shouldn't be a problem. But, don't take it swimming, really. That's the only thing, when you've got a 50-meter watch. Now, as we turn this round, we have this rather nice looking movement there. All been polished up nicely. One thing I should say, I did put this on the time grapher, and I think it was pulling 2 or 3 seconds, and to be fair, that's pretty good. It puts it within chronometer specs in that position I had it in, I should state. Has got 72 hours worth of power reserve there, and a nice feature, it features a silicone hairspring, a balance spring I should say. What that means is it's good at basically not picking up any magnetism from surrounding objects. You may think, where would that happen from? But your mobile phone is one. Some laptops have batteries in them, so they can be magnetized. So that's one thing to be aware of. So it can happen. But overall, it's a lovely, I think, a nice looking movement on the back there. Now, the actual strap on this watch is looks like an alligator crocodile kind of style. It is signed up with 19mm on the back, and where is it? Longines, there we go. Now we have 2 keepers, one fixed, one floating, and a nice style buckle there, which is signed. And let's face it, it just looks great. Let's put it on my wrist so you get an idea how it looks. Zoom out there. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing my Rolex Kermit. I've had it for absolute donkey's years. And Bob has to outdo me, doesn't he? Bob is wearing a Patek Philippe, what's the model called? Ellipse. So he's wearing that. My wrist size is 7¼ inches. And so here it looks on my wrist. And I personally think, considering it's at 38mm, and even the lug-to-lug size isn't that big, it does fill my wrist somewhat. It really does look like it's, I've got a 7¼ slightly more than that size wrist, and it really does fill it. I think it looks really good personally. I've got a real soft spot for this. I think it would look possibly better on a dark brown leather strap, as I find cream style dials and brown always look good together. One thing I should have pointed out as well, I think the recommended retail price is £3,500. I dare say there might be a deal available on that. You never know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you to it that, and stay safe, and see you at the next review. Take care. Bye.